So, the Triumph Bonneville Bobber. What's it like? Stick around and find out. Hi and welcome to a video, and today I'm taking out this beautiful machine, the Triumph Bonneville Bobber, for a little test ride. So this is my first impressions of what this bike's like. Now, as you know, I'm coming from a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson, I've had a Sport Glide, so a Softail, and I've also had, well, I've got at the moment the Road King Special, which is the Tourer. So I'm just looking at this now to downsize at some point, maybe in the near future, maybe not, and I just wanted to test out what the options are. And I've always loved the look of this bike, always. So I thought I'd just bring you out on a test ride with me and see what we think. So first impressions are how light it is compared to a Harley Davidson. It comes in, I think, around about 250 kilograms, which is a heavy bike. It is a heavy bike. However, compared to a Harley Davidson, it's not, far from it. And as I'm getting that little bit older, I just thought I would look at lighter bikes and just see what my options are. So hence this. But yeah, obviously the riding position is something completely different to what I'm used to. So I'm hunched over these bars. So I'm leaning forward in quite an aggressive stance, and this is going to be okay for short rides, definitely. But if you're looking at longer rides, I don't know really how this would fare. So it's more of a short around town rides, a couple of hours, and I think this will be fine. But the handling is really good, really good. The engine is a 1200cc high torque engine, and I think what you've got on this is around 76-77 brake horsepower, so not a lot on the horsepower, but 106 foot-pound of torque from what I can remember. So it's all about the low-end torque completely with this bike. Which is what I'm used to, obviously, with the Harley Davidson. So it's nice from that aspect. I'm not looking for high horsepower. I don't thrash the bikes I ride. I'm much more of a cruiser rider. So yeah, so this is very, very interesting. I do like it, I'm not going to lie. I do like this bike. The one thing I'm getting used to is, with this bike, is the bars and being hunched over, and mid controls. So the mid controls are absolutely fine because I'm only short. I'm only 5'6", so that doesn't bother me at all. The mid pegs. The bars, I can see with me leaning over like this, it's going to get a little bit tiresome after a while. So I would look to put some maybe risers on the bike to see if I can get this upright position a little bit more up here. So I'm a little bit more sail in the wind, but I'm not leaning over quite so much. That would be really nice. But this bike to ride is really light. It's nice. it is really nice to ride. I say the lightness of it is fantastic, and because it's so small, I can get down the side here and filter a lot better than I would be able to on the Harley Davidson, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm going to do a walk around in a bit to show you the beauty of this bike, because it is beautiful. The seat, it's a floating seat, and I haven't got across anything where the roads are too bumpy at the moment, but I've heard it can be quite painful going over imperfections in the road. But there is a solution to that. They say you can change the shock, but the main solution to that is there's a kit, COC Customs, I think, from Australia, and there's a spring that you can put in. So instead of this seat being rock hard and no movement, it gives you some flexibility, so the actual seat gives way when you go over the imperfections, and that's meant to be a game changer. But obviously that's something we'll look at down the line if we get that far. The bike sounds good. Obviously it doesn't sound as good as a Harley, but this is obviously a stock setup, and it sounds good enough for a stock. You could obviously get some slip-on mufflers with it if you wanted to, but I'd probably just, if I was going to stay with it, I'd say stock to start with, and we can go from there. But let's just enjoy the ride of it. It's just so nice for it to be so light in comparison to the Harley Davidson. It really is. With the Harley Davidson being so heavy, it can be a little bit of a pain in the arse in traffic and round England. So having the lightness of this bike, I think, is huge. And I say, in the wrong gears I'm a little bit chuggy here, but that's fine. And got to get used to the indicators being on the wrong side. I'm not on the wrong side, but on the right side, but in the wrong side compared to Harley Davidson. With the Harley Davidson, obviously you've got indicators on both sides, where on this bike you haven't. I'm just going to go up here and have a quick look around here and see if I can get off and do a walk around for you. But here it is, the Triumph Bonneville Bobber. So what do you think? Absolute piece of beauty. Obviously not the most practical bike in the world, but definitely a piece of beauty. Not suited for touring, obviously, but just for fun, weekend rides, poodling around town. It's lovely, and from what I can see so far, it's fun. Don't like that back end. I do not like that back end. That's a right eyesore there. Let's see if we can get some sort of tail tidy on it. And as I say, with these bars, if you can get some sort of riser that brings it up maybe an inch or two, that'd be fantastic. But it sounds good. As I say, this is just idling, and this floating seat, as you see, the floating seat has got no give in it. With that COC Customs, it gives a little bit of spring in there, so you can actually have some sort of suspension within the seat as well. So yeah, so what do you think? Let me know in your comment section. One thing I don't like about it is an ignition key, as you can see in the side there, which which is not fantastic, but never mind. But a beautiful machine. Anyway, so yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and let's get back on with the test ride. And another beautiful thing about this is that low seat height. For me, being a short ass at 5'6", 29-inch inseam, I can flat foot this bike with no problems at all. It's a fun ride. It is a fun ride. I say it's so much more suited for around town traffic. And with this bike, I don't think I'd hesitate to get it out, where obviously with the Road King Special it's a little bit more of an effort, even though I've got the reverse gear on it. This is just a breeze to get out the garage and go for a little spin. And now we're going to be in some stop-start traffic, so let's have a look and see how it performs with this. Yeah, slow speed controls, easy. No problem at all. So what are your thoughts on the Triumph Bobber? Do you own one? Are you thinking of owning one? If you do own one, if you'd let me know how you get on with it. What's it like living day to day with a Triumph Bobber? Is it easy? Is it an easy? I can't speak. Is it an easy bike to get on with? Do you enjoy it? Is there anything you wish was different? Have you changed it? What mods have you put on it? It'd be just really interesting to know before, if I decide to pull the trigger on this, what you lot guys have done. If you're thinking of the Bobber, what's stopping you? Just be interesting from that aspect, from somebody else's perspective. As I say, even if you own it one, or if you're thinking of owning one, what is your thought processes? So I really appreciate it if you could just let me know in the comments. But I must admit, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be really uncomfortable. From the reviews I've seen, they just said, oh, it's a really harsh ride, really uncomfortable. Now, if you know the roads around the UK, none of them are perfect, but I'm not feeling any issues here at all. It's quite a smooth ride. Obviously not as smooth as the Road King Special, but it's a completely different type of bike. But I'm not getting any jarring sensation in my back, so I'll be more than happy to keep the stock shock. And as I say, look at that COC Customs, which I think is about £110, and I think that will be jobs are good. And also, in preparation for this, obviously what I've been looking at is I've been looking at the Triumph catalogue for accessories, and I must say I was pleasantly surprised with the prices. But that's obviously after I'm used to paying Harley tax, where you pay £100 for the smallest piece of plastic. The prices in the accessory catalogue for Triumph are not bad at all. Not bad at all. So if you do want to spec one out, then I don't think it's going to cost you an absolute fortune. Not in comparison to a Harley anyway. But yeah, if I was going to own this, I think, yeah, just do the seat, the springer on the seat, try and see if I can get some risers for these handlebars, and I would look at the satchels for the baggage, just in case I wanted to go out touring, or just to put the camera equipment in when I'm off the bike. It'd be something I would look at, and I know they're not cheap, but it just makes the bike that little bit more practical. One last section of this test ride I'm going to do is on the M20 motorway before we head back to Triumph Maidstone to see how this performs on the motorway. Now obviously it's going to be completely different to a Harley Davidson Road King, obviously. Although the Harley Davidson Road King has got no wind protection per se, I just let this ambulance go past. Although the Road King Special has got no wind protection per se, I've got a Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing on there, so it's quite nice on the motorway. But this being completely naked, obviously I'm going to get beaten up by the wind, so that's why it's not perfect for touring. But we're going to do a quick section on the motorway. I think it's only 5 or 10 minutes before we head back to the dealership, just to check it and see what it's like. As I say, not most of my riding isn't on motorways, so it's not something that really worries me. It's only if I wanted to go touring on it. But again, I don't think it's the most practical bike to do touring on anyway, but it'd be fantastic to ride this down to Spain, or even buy it in Spain and have this in my for my bike in Spain. That would be amazing. That would be amazing, because it's just so really nice. I've enjoyed it, very, very much enjoyed it. It does sound nice. It sounds very nice. Here we go, onto the motorway. Let's see how we get on. So obviously I'm a sail in the wind. But it's fine. It's fine for a short trip. I can see it'll be really fatiguing. You're being blown all over the place. So yeah, this is definitely a better bike for doing 30, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, but you're hitting 70, 80 miles an hour as I'm doing now, and you are getting blown all over the road. But that's, again, in comparison to what I'm used to with the Road King Special, where obviously that is another 100 kilos heavier than this, so you don't feel the wind like you do with this, and you don't get buffeted around and pushed around the road with the wind so much. And obviously I've got a little bit of wind protection on the Road King Special, where I've got nothing on this. I believe you can get a screen, as I think I've said, but I just think it would ruin the looks of it. It might be okay for short-term use now and again, but the thing with this bike is you don't want to ruin the looks of it, because this is what this bike is all about. It's okay. It's okay. But it's more of an effort, definitely, on motorways. But that goes without saying. having spent a half an hour, 3/4 an hour on this bike, these bars aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be fair. But I could still do with them just being that little bit higher. The width is lovely, absolutely fantastic. It's just, yeah, if I could just get them an inch or two higher, a little bit pulled back, maybe an inch or so, and I think this would be perfect for riding around and just cruising around on a summer's day, Sunday afternoon, not a care in the world. This is what this bike is made for. It's made just to enjoy. It's not a workhorse, it's just a bit of fun. So it's something that may definitely be in my future if, as I say, as and when I'm in that position that I have time just to go out and enjoy it. And I will love this, absolutely love this. What a fun bike, what a beautiful bike, and it's something, as I say, if you're looking for a toy, something that's a bit of fun, something you'll enjoy, something you put a smile on your face every time you ride it, something that will turn heads, something that will get people looking at you and talking to you about the bike, then 100% I would recommend this for my first impressions. 100%. It is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, get yourself out to your local Triumph dealer, swing your leg over one and test one for yourself, because I think you'll find you'll love it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please press like, please press subscribe and hit that notification bell for any future videos. As I say, most of my videos are around Harley Davidson and specifically my Road King special, but we do get the occasional gem like this. But yeah, I really appreciate you spending your time sitting here watching my video, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. But in the meantime, ride safe, stay safe, and I will catch you next time.